Oh boy. You can't get a better quality field than this. These guys are actually going to argue the point over who's going to start out of position 8. The winner of this will move up and he'll argue the point with the person that's going to start out of position 7. Well, Andrew Shelley got away with a fairly good start. Drew Clark coming in underneath. Oh, crikey! Up the straightaway they go now. Well, Andrew Shelley, very, very nice through 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway they go now. One more lap to go. Drew Clark. Off the back straightaway they go now. Back through 3 and 4. Andrew Shelley looking very, very comfortable in the office. Okay. That's the way it's going to be. So Andrew Shelley moves up a spot. He gets on to take on Darren Jensen, and Drew Clark will start out of position 8. This is great stuff. Love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, the Serco car, Darren Jensen. Let me tell you a little bit of a story about Andrew Shelley and Darren Jensen. They are great mates in the pit area, but when they get on the racetrack, let me tell you a little story here about Andrew Shelley and Darren Jensen. Great mates in the pit area. When they get on the racetrack, they get fair dinkum. Queensland title last year, Charlton Raceway. Let me put you in the picture. Andrew Shelley, Darren Jensen off the front row. And the rest is history. Andrew ended up on the infield. I don't know quite what happened to Darren, but I know I wasn't too impressed about it. As they roll down the straightaway, 1 lap signals comes out. Andrew Shelley gets to move up another spot. Darren Jensen wants to take him back a spot. Serco car, car number 75, Darren Jensen. The Lucas Oils car, car number 95, Andrew Shelley. Both very hardened, seasoned World Series race car drivers. One has already won, or one has become the first Queenslander to ever win a round of the World Series. The other, many, many World Series heat race wins. Andrew Shelley setting the pace. Jensen around the outside. Shelley's got it in. And no start. No start as they roll past the Centenary Real Estate signboard. Up Coca-Cola straight away. Car rumbling through turns 3 and 4. Chief Stewart telling the boys to settle on the pedal. He was quite adamant at driver's briefing that he would not tolerate any jumping of starts. There'd be no nonsense that went on at the Goff and Gilmore last week when they'll be loading cars up and rolling out of throttles and things like that. That was definitely not on tonight. Not on at all. And again, he just pointed the fact out to the boys. Frantic stuff through turns 1 and 2. Up the back straight away they go now. So Darren Jensen takes it away. Back through 3 and 4 they go. Andrew Shelley running out of steam through 1 and 2. Up the back straight away they go. Okay, so the Serco car, car number 75 of Darren Jensen's, relegates Andrew Shelley back a row. Young Darren Jensen, one of the nicest guys in Queensland sprint car racing, moves up a row, and he gets to argue the point now with Stephen Bell. Don't you love it when they stand on the throttle through 1 and 2? Great stuff. Stephen Bell recovered from an absolute monumental rollover in Sydney last weekend. Thanks to Bill Mann and Barry Lawrence and the rest of the crew. The car is here tonight. Stephen Bell, a very accomplished driver also. Been given the chance of a lifetime by Bill Mann and Barry Lawrence to drive their car this summer. And Stephen doing a great job. And we also should thank Bill and Barry for their contribution to Queensland Sprint Car Racing, sponsoring the Queensland Sprint Car Summer Shootout. Which, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Stephen Bell may be somewhere up there in the lead points. I know Dean McComb was for a little while, and Drew Clark's also up high in the Queensland point standing. So Stephen Bell on the inside, the Speedway car, car number 6, alongside Darren Jensen, car 75. Well, they've let it go. Well, I was about to say they've let it go, and the amber lights come on. Yeah. We're getting down to the serious end of the business now. We're something like up to maybe the 5th or 6th starting position in the feature race. I've lost count. You guys out there might have to help me out a little bit here. Everybody wants to start up the front, and on this track on the inside, so Darren Jensen, they've let it go. Darren Jensen. Oh, Stephen Bell up with the front wheels. Great throttle control from him. Back through turns 3 and 4 they go, and down the back straight away. Oh boy, what have we got here? Speedway fans, have a look at this. Darren Jensen and Gary Brazier. Well, a couple of people in the crowd asked me just a few moments ago, when does Gary Brazier start getting serious? Now, this is when Gary Brazier will start to get very, very serious. You've seen the big lead that Darren Jensen had over Stephen Bell. Well, I think we're about to see that come back just a little bit as the two cars have a bit of a rub and a touch through turns 1 and 2, and they're not even racing yet. The Metal Corp car, Gary Brazier, his father Steve, won this event a couple of times. He knows his way around a sprint car and a sprint car track. Oh, Brazier! Oh, great stuff! Back through turns 3 and 4 they go. Gary Brazier. One lap left to go, Jensen! Jensen is coming back! Jensen is coming back! Oh, let's go wild! Let's go! Come on, Speedway fans! How good was that? Come on! How good was that? Yes! Well, I said Gary Brazier was going to get serious. What about Darren Jensen? Well, he's a brave man. He's standing out right in front of Todd Wanless. That's a brave man to stand out in front of Todd Wanless when he's on full race trim, let me tell you. Well, we know now why Gary Brazier's won 4 titles. Absolutely brilliant through turns 1 and 2. How serious was Darren Jensen? We're going to get a whole lot serious right now. We've got the man that won it last year, and we've got the man that won it on this complex just a few summers ago. Todd Wanless! Okay, so here we go. Hey, for Brock Tatnell, that's what we want to hear. So Gary Brazier moves up another spot. Okay, do we have any Brock Tatnell fans out there? Let us hear it, come on. Yeah. Do we have any Gary Brazier fans out there? Yeah, we've got a few. What about up there at the bar? Pitts bar, what about up there? Well, let me tell you what we got here. We've got the man that's won this race 4 times. He's progressing his way up through the pole shuffle. We've got the man that's won the World Series 4 times and would love to win this race tonight. Okay. Wow! He can hear you, you know. Come on! Let's get into this. This is great stuff. Well, I don't know whether I'm getting a little bit sentimental or what, but it was just pointed out to me that the front wing on Gary Brazier's car collapsed, so maybe that didn't help his cause. Don't matter anyway. He's been relegated back one spot. Brooke Tatnall's up a spot. So now we've got the two guys that have won a lot of World Series races. Okay, so Brooke Tatnall's decided he's not going to even bother. So how about that? We've got these Skip Jackson fans out there. Come on! Did you see that? Now, I've only ever seen one or two blokes do that in my entire life. One is Gary Rush, the other is Steve Kinser. That is absolute brilliance on Skip Jackson's part. There's a groove up there, and he found it through 1 and 2. Now, will he do what Gary Brazier did and make the comment, I showed them the fast way, now they're all doing it? Will he say that? He may or he may not. Don't matter.
Was the Tatnall Skip Jackson one at 23.63. You can see it now on the Centenary Real Estate time board. That equates to, yes, 11.825. And I took my socks off to do that. But that's sub 12 seconds in a head-to-head.
Mate, I hope Shane Stollett got a copy of what Skip done in turns 1 and 2, because I want to buy one. Yeah, he's got his thumbs up, he got the copy. By the way, folks, probably waiting to skip to unbuckle and climb out of the office. If you want to capture any of the memories of tonight's Sprint Car Championship, see Shane Stollett. Great cameraman. He anticipates just about any crash that occurs. Video and records all the events here and all over the countryside. Got some great crash tapes. He's the only guy that I know that can get 12 sprint car flips on the one night, so that means something. He's a hell of a good cameraman. He can anticipate just where it's going to happen. Wow, Skip Jackson, you're fast, mate.
So far, so good. The Pennzoil Toyota car's working real good, and there's still 40 laps to go, so we'll see what happens.
Mate, you and I have talked a little bit over this weekend. A little bit confident. You said this was the one you wanted. You haven't won this before. I think tonight might be your night.
Well, there's a lot of people out on it, and we'll just give it our best shot, and we'll see what happens.
On you, Skip, you've got a lot to do when you get back into the pit area. Ladies and gentlemen, Skip Jackson. And like I said, there's only two guys I've ever seen do what he did. One was Gary Rush, the other was Steve Kinser. And that's a big statement. Skip Jackson climbing back into the car. Graham Gill, wow. Pulling up alongside Brooke Tatnall. It's going to be frantic in turn 1.
Well, I tell you what, I was talking to George Tatnall earlier. He said Brooks won about 166 mains, but never cracked it. I think we're in for a big one. You put them together, that was the fastest time for 2. They get out in front, and they'll be going for that straight after the start. They got 40 laps ahead of them, and I reckon we're in for a battle royale, really.
Oh, mate. I really do think we are. I mean, it's not going to be one in the first turn, and I hope these guys realise that, because we want to see them at the end of the race. We don't want to see too many race cars torn up. But 3 things, in my opinion, is going to win this race. Bit of stamina, a good crew chief, and a fair bit of ability through traffic. And we'll be back to see that very soon.